If you are over the age of 60 and you have been waking up with dry, tired, or blurry eyes, or if your vision just does not feel as sharp as it used to be, I need you to stop what you are doing right now and watch this video all the way through. Because what I'm about to share with you is something that most people your age have never been told, not by their doctor, not by their eye specialist, and certainly not by anyone on television. It is simple, it is natural, and it might be one of the most powerful things you can do tonight before you go to sleep to start protecting and even repairing your eyesight. I know that sounds like a big claim, but stay with me because the science behind this is real. And by the end of this video, you are going to understand exactly why this one fruit, eaten at the right time of night, can make a genuine difference for the eyes of anyone over 50. Let me start with something that hits close to home for a lot of people. Think about the last time you tried to read the label on a bottle of medicine, or maybe you were trying to read a text message from your grandchild and you had to hold the phone farther away than you used to. Or maybe you noticed that the lights seem brighter at night when you are driving, or that your eyes feel dry and scratchy by the end of the day. These are not just small inconveniences. For many older adults, these are early warning signs that the eyes are not getting what they need. And the frustrating part is that most people just accept it. They think this is just what aging looks like. They buy a stronger pair of glasses and move on. But that is not the whole story, and I think you deserve to know the rest of it. Before we go any further, I just want to say that if you are finding this kind of information helpful and you are not already subscribed to this channel, please take a second right now to hit that subscribe button and give this video a like. Here at Dr. Alex Morgan Aging Wellness Lab, we are dedicated to bringing you real, research-backed information about aging well, feeling stronger, and protecting your health in simple and practical ways. We post new content every week, and we want to make sure you never miss it. Now let us get into what your eyes actually need and why nighttime is the most important window you might be completely ignoring. Here is something that most people do not realize. Your eyes do not rest when you sleep. They repair. While your body is lying still and your mind is drifting off, your eyes are actually going through a process of restoration. The cells inside your retina, which is the light-sensitive tissue at the back of your eye, are working to repair the damage that accumulated during the day from screen time, sunlight exposure, and normal use. Your cornea is regenerating its surface layer, your tear glands are resetting, and the blood vessels that feed your eyes are doing some of their most important maintenance work. This is why what you consume in the hours before bed matters so much more than most people think. If you give your body the right nutrients at the right time, you can actually support and enhance this overnight repair process. And if you consistently go to bed without those nutrients, you are leaving your eyes to do the best they can with very little to work with. Now here is where it gets really interesting. And this is the part that most people have never heard before. There is one specific fruit that is particularly powerful for nighttime eye repair, and it is not the one you are probably thinking of. Most people, when they hear about eye health, immediately think of carrots. Carrots are good, do not get me wrong, but what I am talking about tonight is something different, something that works on a deeper level, particularly for the aging eye. And the best part is that it is affordable, easy to find at any grocery store, and takes absolutely no preparation. You just eat it. The fruit I am talking about is kiwi. Now, before you scroll away thinking this is too simple, I want you to hear me out, because the research behind kiwi and eye health is genuinely impressive, and most people have no idea about it. Kiwi is one of the highest natural sources of lutein and zeaxanthin of any fruit available. These two compounds are not vitamins in the traditional sense. They are what scientists call macular pigments, and they do something extraordinary. They physically accumulate inside your macula, which is the central part of your retina responsible for your sharp, detailed vision, and they act as a natural filter that protects your eyes from damaging light. Think of them like internal sunglasses for your eyes. The more of these pigments you have built up in your retina, the better protected your central vision is from the kind of oxidative damage that leads to macular degeneration, which is one of the leading causes of vision loss in adults over 60. But here is what most people miss. Your body cannot make lutein or zeaxanthin on its own. You have to get them from food. And if you are not consistently eating foods that contain them, your macular pigment levels drop over time. This is one of the primary reasons why vision tends to deteriorate with age. It is not just an unavoidable part of getting older. In many cases, it is a nutritional gap that has been building for years. And the good news is that studies have shown that increasing your intake of these nutrients can actually increase your macular pigment levels, even in older adults, and that this increase is associated with better contrast sensitivity, reduced glare sensitivity, and improved visual performance in low light conditions. These are exactly the kinds of problems that older adults complain about most, and they are directly connected to this specific nutritional deficiency. Now, why is kiwi particularly special compared to other sources of lutein and zeaxanthin? Great question. A lot of people think that spinach and kale are the best sources, and in terms of raw quantity, they are high. But here is the thing. The lutein in kiwi has been shown in research to have a higher bioavailability than the lutein in many vegetables. Bioavailability is just a fancy word for how much of a nutrient your body can actually absorb and use. And because kiwi also contains vitamin C in very high amounts, actually more vitamin C per gram than an orange, it creates an internal environment that makes it easier for your body to absorb and utilize these protective compounds. Vitamin C is also directly involved in maintaining the health of the blood vessels that supply your eyes, and it plays a role in protecting the lens of the eye from the oxidative damage that contributes to cataracts. And this is where things get even more interesting, because kiwi does not just stop at lutein and zeaxanthin and vitamin C. It also contains a meaningful amount of vitamin E, which works together with vitamin C in a synergistic way to neutralize free radicals in the eye tissue. Free radicals are unstable molecules that damage cells, and the eyes are particularly vulnerable to them because of their constant exposure to light and their very high metabolic activity. When vitamin C and vitamin E work together, they create a more powerful antioxidant effect than either one alone, and kiwi gives you both in a single piece of fruit. Let us also talk about something that almost nobody connects to eye health, and that is sleep quality itself. You might be wondering what sleep has to do with your vision, and the answer is more than most people realize. Research has shown that poor sleep is directly associated with increased eye pressure, dry eye syndrome, and accelerated deterioration of visual acuity over time. When you sleep poorly, the inflammation in your body rises, and the eyes, being some of the most sensitive and metabolically active tissue in the entire body, are among the first to show the effects of that inflammation. Here is where kiwi adds yet another layer of benefit that makes it uniquely suited as a bedtime fruit for older adults. Multiple clinical studies, including one well-known trial from Taiwan that followed adults who ate 2 kiwis 1 hour before bed every night, found that the participants fell asleep significantly faster, slept longer, and reported better sleep quality compared to those who did not eat kiwi before bed. The researchers attributed this primarily to the high levels of serotonin and folate found in kiwi. Serotonin is a precursor to melatonin, which is the hormone your brain produces to signal that it is time to sleep. By naturally boosting serotonin levels in the evening, kiwi helps your body transition into sleep more smoothly and stay in the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep longer. And remember what we talked about earlier. Your eyes repair themselves while you sleep. So better sleep means more time in deep restoration mode. It means your retinal cells have a longer window to do their repair work. It means your tear glands have more time to reset and replenish. And it means the anti-inflammatory processes that protect your eye tissue from damage have more opportunity to do their job. This is why kiwi before bed is not just about nutrition. It is about creating the optimal internal environment for your eyes to repair themselves overnight, addressing the problem from 2 different angles at the same time. Now let me tell you about someone I think about often when I talk about this topic. There was an older gentleman, I will call him Raymond, who came to me deeply worried about his eyes. He was 71 years old, sharp as a tack mentally, but struggling with his vision in ways that were affecting his daily life. He had stopped driving at night because the glare from oncoming headlights had become overwhelming. He was squinting to read things he used to read easily. His eyes felt dry and irritated most mornings when he woke up. He had been to his eye doctor, gotten the usual recommendations, tried eye drops, and was told his eyes were showing signs of early macular changes. He was scared, and honestly, he had every right to be concerned, but he was also determined to do something about it. We talked about his diet, his sleep, his daily routine, and one of the first things I suggested was adding kiwi to his evening routine. 2 kiwis, eaten about an hour before bed, every night. No complicated protocol, no expensive supplements, just a simple, consistent habit. Within about 6 weeks, Raymond started noticing differences. His eyes felt less dry in the mornings, his sleep had improved noticeably, and over the following months, at his follow-up eye appointment, his doctor remarked that his macular pigment readings had improved and that the early changes they had been monitoring appeared to have stabilized. Raymond was not cured of aging, but he had given his eyes something they had been missing. And that made a real difference in his daily experience. The next part is very important because I want to make sure you understand how to actually do this correctly so that you get the most benefit. Eating kiwi earlier in the evening, perhaps after dinner, gives your digestive system time to process it and begin releasing those nutrients into your bloodstream before you fall asleep. Eating it roughly 1 to 1.5 hours before bed seems to be the sweet spot based on the research. 2 kiwis is the amount used in most of the studies showing benefit, and it is a reasonable and manageable amount for most people. You can eat them plain, you can slice them and mix them with a small amount of yogurt for extra protein and probiotics, or you can simply cut them in half and scoop out the flesh with a spoon. The green variety and the gold variety both contain lutein, zeaxanthin, vitamin C, and vitamin E, though the gold variety tends to have even higher vitamin C levels. Either one will serve you well. One thing I also want to mention is hydration. Dry eyes are one of the most common and uncomfortable complaints among older adults, and they are closely linked to overall hydration status. Kiwi has a relatively high water content, which contributes to your overall fluid intake, but I also encourage you to make sure you are drinking enough water throughout the day because no single food can compensate for chronic dehydration. Your tear film, the thin layer of moisture that coats the surface of your eye, depends on your body being adequately hydrated to function properly. When you are dehydrated, even mildly, your tear production decreases, and your eyes feel dry, gritty, and uncomfortable. Combining regular hydration with the nutritional benefits of kiwi creates a much more supportive environment for eye health overall. I also want to address something that comes up often when people hear about nutritional approaches to eye health. You might be wondering whether supplements would work just as well. And the honest answer is that whole foods like kiwi offer something that isolated supplements often cannot fully replicate, which is the combined effect of multiple nutrients working together in their natural form, in the proportions that nature designed, alongside other beneficial compounds that scientists may not have fully identified yet. Supplements have their place, and there are certainly situations where they are necessary and helpful, but when a whole food provides the specific nutrients your eyes need in a highly bioavailable, synergistic form, that is something worth taking seriously before reaching for a pill bottle. What I love most about this approach is how simple it is. There is nothing complicated here. There is no expensive protocol. There is no dramatic lifestyle overhaul required. It is just a small, consistent habit that you can start tonight. And that is exactly the kind of health information that I believe everyone deserves access to, the simple stuff that actually works, explained clearly so that you can make an informed decision for yourself. I want to leave you with one more thought before we wrap up. Taking care of your eyes is one of the most important things you can do for your independence as you age. Your ability to see clearly affects everything. It affects your ability to drive, to read, to recognize the faces of the people you love, to navigate your home safely, to stay connected to the world around you. Every step you take to protect and support your vision is a step toward maintaining the kind of independent, engaged, joyful life that you have worked hard for. And sometimes those steps are smaller and simpler than you might expect. Sometimes it is just 2 kiwis before bed. If this video gave you something useful today, I would really love for you to share it with someone in your life who might benefit from hearing this. A friend, a sibling, a neighbor who has been complaining about their eyes. It takes just a moment to share, and it could genuinely make a difference for someone you care about. And please leave a comment below and let me know, have you ever tried eating kiwi regularly? Have you noticed any difference in your sleep or your eyes? I read every comment and I love hearing from this community. Your experiences and your questions help shape the content we create here every week. So please do not be shy. Drop something in the comments and let us keep this conversation going. Take good care of yourself. Your eyes have been looking out for you your whole life. Now it is time to look out for them.